August 1947. A train pulls into Lahore. It had left Delhi packed with Muslim refugees heading to Pakistan. But when it arrived, every passenger was dead, slaughtered along the way. No survivors. Only silence, blood, and mutilated bodies. Other trains headed in the opposite direction, to India, carried Hindu and Sikh corpses. It wasn't a war, it was something worse. This was partition, when two new nations were born, and over 1 million people died. For nearly 200 years, Britain ruled India, but World War II had broken the empire. Britain was too poor to hold on to its colonies. Meanwhile, India was boiling. Gandhi led peaceful protests, others chose violent rebellion, and underneath it all, Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs had grown suspicious of each other. The British played them against one another for decades. Now, Britain decided to leave. Fast, too fast. They sent a man named Cyril Radcliffe, a British judge who had never been to India. He was given 5 weeks to divide a country of 400 million people. He had no maps, no census, no understanding of the culture. Still, he drew the borders of two new nations, India and Pakistan. August 14th, Pakistan gains independence. August 15th, India follows. But the public didn't even know where the borders were until August 17th. By then, the killing had already begun. Before partition, Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs had lived together for centuries. They shared streets, food, language. But now fear spread like wildfire. Rumors of betrayal, of attacks, of revenge. Entire villages turned on their neighbors. People were burned alive inside homes. Others hacked to death in the street. Temples, mosques, and gurdwaras were looted and destroyed. Mob violence consumed Punjab and Bengal. Hindus killed Muslims. Muslims killed Sikhs. Sikhs killed Muslims. It wasn't about war, it was about identity and erasing the other. Trains were meant to bring refugees to safety. Instead, they brought death. Militias stopped trains mid-route. They inspected faces, names, clothing. If you were the wrong religion, you were killed on the spot. Sometimes trains pulled into stations filled only with corpses. Men, women, even babies. The tracks ran red, and the trains were called ghost trains. The violence against women was unspeakable. Tens of thousands were kidnapped, raped, tortured, mutilated. Some were branded with religious symbols. Others were forcibly converted and married to their captors. Entire villages of women drowned themselves in wells, choosing death over what the mobs would do. And many women who survived were rejected by their families, too tainted to return. Over 15 million people were forced to flee. Muslims left India for Pakistan. Hindus and Sikhs fled Pakistan for India. It was the largest human migration in recorded history, and honestly, one of the most violent. Families walked for days with no food or water. Thousands died along the road. Babies buried in shallow graves. Old men left behind. The refugee camps were overrun. Diseases spread, and no one had answers. In the years after partition, both governments tried to forget. There were no trials, no apologies, no justice. Survivors kept quiet, some out of shame, others because they simply couldn't speak of what they had seen. Schools glossed over it, textbooks minimized it. Entire generations grew up not knowing what happened, but the pain was never buried, only silenced. Partition created two nations, but it also created trauma that still echoes today. India and Pakistan have fought 3 wars, tensions remain high. Kashmir bleeds every year, and still, the world remembers little. Partition was not just a political failure, it was a human disaster. A line was drawn with ink, but it carved through homes, families, and hearts. 1 million dead, 15 million displaced, tens of thousands of women violated. And for what? This is the price of hate, the cost of division, the legacy of lines drawn by men who never bled. History warns us again and again, and still, we forget.